This week on Thursdays with Rob and Paul, there is no Rob, only Paul. And I am joined by Jordan Blum, the creator of MODOK on Hulu and now the co-author of Minor Threats, a brand new comic with Patton Oswalt. Plus, we meet a Brazilian butt doctor and Jacquis Neal stops by. It's a big, big show. Plus, I'm doing whatever you want in this show. You want me to do impressions? I'm going to do impressions. You want me to watch a clip? I'm going to watch a clip. You control the show today. I'm there for you. Plus, we find out something about who's the boss that kind of blows my mind. So this is actually really interesting. Like I said, a little while ago on Discord, someone reached out to me. They said that they wanted to come on the show, that they are a Brazilian butt surgeon. Now, I don't normally just take regular requests from the Discord, but I thought this was actually interesting. Gentleman Ivan, I guess we'll be able to answer our questions about it. I'm going to be meeting him for the first time, but I guess without, we'll make sure that he's all ready and we'll get him in here in a couple seconds. But I'm very excited about this. And as we are talking about, Fetterman and DeSantis's commercials, I think that whoever suggested I do that Fetterman impression is really feeling like they nailed it with that. Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ivan, the Brazilian butt surgeon. Hey.
Hello, Mr. Scheer. Let me get these stuff out. I just came out of surgery. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Hello.
Thank you so much for making time for us. I appreciate it so much.
Listen. The more the world can know about what I do, the better,
Yeah, so this is actually really fascinating to me. You are a Brazilian butt surgeon. Now, are you
yes.
Is that where you're from and you do butt surgery in Brazil, or you give Brazilian butts? That is something that I think was my first question.
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm from Montana. I am not from Brazil. Yes, I'm from the great state of Montana.
Amazing.
Probably the first person you know from Montana.
I actually have been. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Montana. It's not like it's not that far away, but yes, I mean,
sure.
Yeah,
but nobody's from
Montana
there.
Guest. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Nobody's
sure.
from there, but me.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I do Brazilian butt lifts, and they go by many names. Fat transfer, butt injection lifts. But the most commonly known name that everyone, the Kardashians, people on social media, everyone knows, BBL, Brazilian butt lift. Yes.
Yeah, that Brazilian butt lift. When you're doing that, is it getting it to be, I mean, what's the end goal? Is it going to be hard? Is it going to feel soft? Like, what does it feel like when it's done?
I'm glad you asked this. Listen, first of all, let me tell a little story. Let me go back to the beginning. 10 years old, I heard a song that changed my life. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Sir Mix-a-Lot, absolutely. And when I heard that song, I just said to myself, you know what? Who doesn't like a good butt? A good butt comes in many shapes, forms, or sizes. A good butt is in the eye of the beholder, and a good butt is in the eye of the actual owner of the butt. So I make your butt hard. I make your butt soft. I make your butt wide. I make your butt up, down, side to side. Whatever you want your butt to be, I will make your butt like. I make a butt side to side. Yes, I do.
Wow, this is amazing. So you really are like a dream machine or a dream worker. Like you're able to give everybody what their perfect butt is.
Yes. I try. Now, if your perfect butt is not achieved, it is likely because of user error. There are many things. There are many things that you have to do after you get the world-renowned BBL.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean user error? Like, so you can like it deflates or what? I don't understand. Like,
yes.
How could you? Oh, really?
Yes, do not sit on your butt after a BBL for 6 weeks, my friend.
Seems 6 weeks. That seems incredibly excessive. 6 weeks is a long time.
You cannot even sit on your lower back. You have to sit on your thighs. You have to sit on your thighs. You have to sit on your knees. You have to sit on your middle back, like in sit-up position.
Oh my God! What I would imagine. Like, how many people are, I guess, operator error? I mean, how many people are coming back to you after, accidentally sitting on their butt during a 6-week period?
Yes. I would say for every 100 BBLs I do, I get at least About 15, 16 flat butts. Did you have a grandmother, Paul?
I did have a grandmother. Yeah, she's actually still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
Well, listen, my grandmother once told me, like when you cook a cake, don't run in the house.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
cake will get flat.
Okay.
The cake will flatten. And have you seen a flat cake before?
Yeah, right. I guess like it's like a dough rising kind of a thing, right? Like so you want a
Yes, and
dome,
then
right?
it
Yeah,
flattens.
yeah.
Yes, that is how the butts come back to me looking, and it is
Oh,
a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. At that point, I cannot help you any longer. Once your butt goes flat, it does not go back.
so there are people out there that can't fill their jeans, can't fill their skirts, can't fill
No,
their slacks, and it's
no.
just does it look like? And I guess I'm not trying to be offensive in any way, but like
Mm,
sometimes when you see someone who has had been very overweight, 400 or 500
yes.
pounds, they'll be almost like these fleshy folds. Like it looks like it should be full, but it's empty. Is it kind of look like that? Is it drooping down like that on the butt, or like what does it look like? Is it?
It looks like a basketball. It looks like
Oh,
a basketball. Have you ever seen a flat basketball?
yeah. Just
Yeah. Where one side is a little round still, you look like
yeah.
you look at that and you say, "Oh, basketball, let's go play some hoops." And then you turn it around and it's incaved in. Incaved. Can't dribble it, can't
Ooh.
dunk it, can't palm it, can't do anything with that butt. That's what it
It's
looks
just
like.
now you've got it really painted a great picture. I see
Yes.
that indentation. My God. Well, I mean, I imagine that a lot of people, when you're doing this to them, they want to take
Yes.
the risk. And what do you think
Mm.
the risk is? Because you're saying it's for them, but is it for our culture? I mean, in Montana, are people wanting to go around with big butts, or is it just,
Well, let me tell you something. In Montana, the butts are great. The
wow,
butts are great. And it inspired me. Like I told you, I heard that song, like
right,
Big Butts and I Cannot
yeah,
Lie. And I walked outside and I said, you know what? I've never looked at butts before. I've never understood the butts. And I looked outside and I see booty here, booty there, booty here.
wow,
And all of them were bad. All of them were
right.
bad. Dedicated my life to making sure first the butts here in Montana are good, and then I got my reputation up, and now I do butts all over the world, all over
Oh,
the world.
this is amazing to me, and I guess
Mm.
the question I have is like, what are you putting in there? Because you're saying it's
Mm.
deflating. Is it? Yeah, but what are
Yes.
you putting in there?
The same type of air that goes into tires.
Oh,
The
wow.
same type of air that goes into basketball. Now I do use a little. Now let me. I know people are out there
Yeah.
listening, like this man is not a doctor.
Well, yeah.
The traditional doctor uses fat. He uses
Right.
fat. He takes fat from your stomach. They take fat from your waist. They take fat from your back, fat back, and then they put it down and they stuff it into the butt. Now I can't do that, but what makes me world renowned, world renowned
Yeah.
is that I also use just a tiny bit of air. Just a tiny bit of air. I pump it up like a
Well,
like a old Nike
yeah,
tongue
yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, okay, but this seems to me like the reason why they're deflating is because you are. I mean, look, the skin is porous, obviously, but it feels
Mm,
like that is
mm,
like air in there. I know some people are saying, well, I've heard that maybe like helium or something like that, but that
mm.
does feel like it. You want to. I don't know. I feel like you maybe
I
want
see what
something.
you.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. You are saying that it is possibly not user error. It is on me.
Well,
It is on
I don't
me.
I don't want to blame you, but I'm saying like, look, you're doing something that's very, look, when you say like you can't do anything afterwards, I'm wondering maybe it is the air. Is it like again? I don't want to upset you,
Mm.
but yeah.
No, no, no. I've not been upset since 1999. I don't get
Oh my
upset
gosh,
anymore.
wow, that's
There's too
amazing.
many beautiful butts in the world to get upset, my friend.
Okay, yeah,
Listen, here's what I wanted to.
okay,
Here's why I reached out to you on the Discord.
yes,
I am being sued right now.
okay, that makes
I'm
sense.
being sued. That makes sense.
Well, I
It
just
does make no. It makes no sense.
Okay, all right.
It makes no sense.
Okay, sure. I guess. Okay, we've said a couple of things that have made me a little bit suspect, but yes. Okay,
Okay,
so you're being
well,
sued, but I'm
listen.
on your side. I'm on your side.
Thank you. I am being sued because someone said that I did not do the BBL in the way that they knew. The way that they have heard on social media. And I tell you two things.
Hmm.
The first thing, I doubt you will disagree. Do you listen to everything you hear on social media?
Of course not. No, of course not.
It's
Yeah.
silly, right? It's
Right, of
silly.
course. Yes.
Yes. And the second thing, you sign a contract when you come into my office, and in that contract it says you cannot sue no matter what the outcome of your Brazilian butt lift is. And if you do sue, I will find some type of public medium to shame you.
Well, yeah, that's
so Mary.
Oh,
Mary, listen. Am I allowed
wait,
to
is this
curse
why
on here?
well, you can curse, yeah, but
Okay.
you know, don't give him Molly. Do not give him full screen to yell at this woman.
No, give me. Where's my camera?
No.
Right here.
Oh no,
Mary.
Oh no,
Mary, I am looking at you. You came to me in the great state of Montana from Idaho, another place nobody is from.
No,
and you came to me and you said, I need a new butt, Dr. Ivan. I need a Nicki Minaj butt. Do your work, do your magic. I said, I got you, baby girl. I got you. I did my magic. I told you all the things. I put the contract up on a projector like they use in math class so you could see it. And you still sue me because your butt now looks like cracker. Looks like saltine cracker. And to you, I say, fuck you, Mary.
Oh,
fuck you.
We did not need to yell at Mary. We did not. You cannot use this forum to go on here and yell at clients that are suing you for bad butt lifts. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone out there. Is you know. But I guess people are asking. We'll ask a couple questions from the chat.
Sure. I love questions. Yes.
People are wondering, because you use air, could you maybe install a pump like the Nike pump you up, thing on a butt, or is that not happening?
Well, let me tell you something. No one likes to be pinched. No one likes to be pinched. And in order to do that, I would have to install like something on your back that you would squeeze, just like a little back squeeze. And I am a plastic surgeon, but I am not God. I cannot add new parts to your body. I can't.
Okay,
do that,
so that's a very rational answer from some of the details you've been telling us. I will say this.
Yes.
I also, is there a difference between like a Brazilian like butt and like a bubble butt?
Oh, my friend Paul.
Yeah.
You are what they say, and all over the world, you are asking the right questions.
Oh, I see.
You're asking the right questions.
I'm having a great time listening and learning. This is great. Yeah.
You see, a Brazilian butt lift is the procedure. It is the scientific name, like a cat is a feline, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or a dog is a canine.
Right.
That is the scientific name. But a bubble butt is a nickname. A bubble butt is an aspiration. A bubble butt is a type of butt, like an American short hair or a German shepherd or, Fido. All these different things you call the butt.
Got it.
That's what that is. So if you... Wait a minute. Are you telling me you want a bubble butt?
No, I don't want a bubble butt. I feel like there's been moments in my life where I feel like maybe my butt is too like I don't have butt problems. I mean, but
you don't have butt problems.
I mean, but if I was maybe looking around or I was interested, I mean, what kind of butt might you recommend?
Yes. Well, let me ask you something, Paul. Yeah, two questions. Questions. First, and I think you are married, correct?
I am married. Yeah, I am married.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah.
Well, let me help your love life a little bit. So take your hand. Take your hand like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Put it sideways. Yes.
Okay.
Now imagine the top of the screen is the top of your butt.
Okay.
And I want you to go to the bottom of the screen. But if you go to the bottom of the screen, I want you to trace along how big you think your butt is. So is it like this?
Okay. Oh,
or
I see
is
what you're
it
saying.
like that? Yes.
My dream butt or like my butt?
No, your actual butt. What is your butt?
I think that my butt is like kind of like this. I got a. It's it's got a little that. Yeah, it's not a flat butt. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah.
It's a little side to side butt. A little side to side butt.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Side to side is beautiful.
Okay.
But what I can do is I can give you a little lift. I give you a side to side. Give you a little lift. Have you looking like Cardi B, baby? Have you looking like you played defensive back for the Los Angeles Rams? That's where you're from, right?
Well, I live in Los Angeles now, but now the question I have for you is, why not just do the workout? Why not get in the gym?
Well, the gym is a myth, my friend. The gym is a myth.
Oh, really?
You hear, do some squats, get to butt. Do some squats, get to butt. look at your chat right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
Yeah.
To the audience, I ask you, anybody in the audience doing squats, has your butt gotten bigger? Has your butt gotten a little more bubbly?
Yeah, it just seems
What's the consensus?
The consensus so far is like, I've done squats today, I didn't see anything. It's like, nah, yeah, like he's gonna yeah, no, people are just like, no, it's not working. Squats are not working, I don't think. Yeah.
You know what works?
What?
Little bit of fat here,
A little bit of fat,
little bit of air here, and put it together and get you not just a BBL, get you a IWR BBL.
Wait, so and that stands for
Ivan world-renowned Brazilian butt lift.
Okay, now you did say that's a long one. I will say this: you say you've done it all over the world.
Yes.
What are some of the countries that have you really like? What are some of the countries you've been to?
Yeah. I've done them in Montana. I've done them in Indiana.
Okay, Montana,
I've
Indiana.
done them in Iowa.
This is what I thought. You're not worldwide would mean that you're going around the world. It seems like you're very much in like kind of like not the Rust Belt, but you're kind of in like a lot of farm country, upper, middle north. Yeah.
Listen, I also did them on a Carnival cruise once, and we were all over. We were in international waters on the Carnival cruise.
Wow, people are getting surgery on the boat.
Yes,
wow.
right after dinner. No.
Jesus, that is intense. Now, have you ever thought about branching out to anything else, like going more to abs or whatever?
Well, I have thought a little bit about branching out to a little something. I even though I am living my dream, I still go to sleep every night, which means I still have dreams.
Of course, yeah, right, yeah.
And my grandmother used to say that. So yes, I do want to do something else. I have the idea that Ivan, Dr. Ivan, world-renowned Brazilian butt surgeon, would love to also work on the knees.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I would never have thought you would have gone there because the knees seem like more of an orthoscopic surgeon. Are you talking about like what would you like to do to people's knees?
Oh, smooth them out. Too many wrinkly knees in the world.
Well, but is that just because of the bend?
Yeah, I don't know what it's because of. Is imperfection from God is what it's because of. But Dr. Ivan can fix it.
Let's not say that. People are saying front or back of knee.
Oh, well, of course, the front of the knee. Nobody sees the back of the knee, And if they do see the back of the knee, they have to see the front of the knee. You don't want to get a butter face.
Okay. Oh wow, this is all right. So this is interesting. I mean, I'm fascinated by this. I don't want to keep you for too long, but there's a couple questions I do want to ask you here too.
Yes.
Can you? Do you have like if I was coming into your office and I was going to maybe sit down for this procedure using all my Twitch money or my all my social media money, and I was going to say, well, are there sizes? Like if you go to like a Starbucks, there are sizes. Are there sizes for these?
Yes, exactly. They are exactly the Starbucks sizes. You can get a venti.
Wow.
Yes, you can get
that's
venti.
Clever. That is good. That's people are familiar with it. Okay, yeah.
Yes, you get. I every size I have in my office is based off of some fast food. You can supersize it. You can get a venti. You can get a 6-inch.
So sometimes you can come in and just get you can get a tall, but maybe that didn't do that much because you think, I'm gonna get a tall butt, but you actually got a very small butt.
Yes.
That's the problem.
And sometimes the confusion comes from, put me back on the full screen.
Oh, no. Molly, do not put him on the full screen. Do not put
here. Let me tell you something, Karen. Long before your name has been mocked for being a terrible person.
Oh, right. In general.
You came to my office and you asked for a tall. Yes, the Karen, the first ever Karen, came to my office. You asked me for a tall BBL. I gave it to you. You looked at your butt. It healed perfectly. And you came back and said, this isn't tall. This is small. And to that, I say, sue Starbucks, not Dr. Ivan. Fuck you, Karen.
All right. Well, again, we cannot have you cursing out people who are suing you for faulty butt lifts. I appreciate you being here. As someone in the chat pointed out, your work may not have been done around the world, but you are known, world renowned for your butt work. Again, I'm not entirely sure of that either, but we know you perform some surgeries in international waters. And is there, besides the knees, is there any other goals that you want us to know about, anywhere we can kind of, if we have to come to Montana, I guess, give a clinic, or is it out of your house?
Yeah. I do have a clinic that is out of my house. It is done in I have a second bedroom.
A second, not even like geez, I thought you'd have like a private entrance.
No. I have a second bedroom. You come in, you take your shoes off at the door. I offer you a drink of water and take you right to my office/guest room. And
wow, so you actually have the meeting and the surgery in the same guest room?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Wow.
So it is very eye-opening. While you are waiting for your Brazilian butt lift, you are watching someone else get their Brazilian butt lift, and so you know what you are in for.
So are you like operating and also doing like prospective client interviews with people?
Yes. A good surgeon can do both. A good surgeon. I throw on a little Spotify. I throw on a little smooth jazz. WNUA 95.5.
I like, actually, when I was there, I think they play some good stuff. It's because they have real DJs. It's not like that Jack FM stuff.
No.
Molly is asking, do you have any cats? Because she's allergic. Or people, I want to make sure if they come to your house, they're not going to get anything.
Not going to get any cats.
If people are allergic to cats, do you have cats? I guess is the question.
Yes, I do no longer have. I no longer have cats. It was a tragedy. My cat Ziggy, he was a good boy. He got in the air. He got in the air and he sucked it all up. And
he got the butt air.
He got in the butt air, and
poor cat.
And he laid down on that air, and he is now deflated.
Oh God! Well, I feel like this is a very upsetting story. So, like, whatever air you're using seems faulty. I don't know how air can be faulty, but Ivan, I appreciate your time here. People have a million questions for you. They were asking, can cats have butt lifts?
I have not tried that yet. They scratch.
Well, yeah, and they can't sign a contract. They could probably sue too. Well, Ivan, this has been amazing to chat with you about your butt surgery. And people can find you. Obviously, you type in like onto Google like Dr. Ivan Brazilian butt surgeon, and something will come up, right? You have I think it says you have a pager. You have the pager number on there, and you have a landline.
Yes, I have a pager number. It is 1-800 BBL IWR1. Because I am number one. I am number one. And my phone number to my landline is 1-800 BBL IWR2.
There it is. We have it scrolling across the screen there. All right. Well, this is amazing. I really appreciate you being here, sharing your wealth of knowledge. I'm a little bit daunted by it, but you know what? Put some air in the butt. That's what you do. And thank you, Dr. Ivan. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful.
Thank you, Paul. If you are ever in Montana, where nobody has come to visit or nobody is from, look me up.
I probably won't, but it would be, but yes, but thank you for that. Okay, well, thank you so much. All right, bye. Thank you, Dr. Ivan. I would go to Montana, but I got plans, especially in October. I'm going to be at the Elysian Theater. I'm going to be checking out Jacquis Neal's Comedian Feud. If you've not been to the Elysian Theater in Los Angeles, it's a great comedy space. They put on fantastic shows there. And one of my favorite people, Jacquis Neal, puts on a great version of Family Feud with stand-up and also really funny people competing. I will say that I did walk away the champion. I played against Nicole Byers' team. We had a great team. And you come see it every month. It's a lot of fun. It's a cheap show, so you can get there and still buy some stuff too. You can buy some merch. I don't know if they have merch, but you can buy some beer or some like Doritos or something like that. But go check them out. And thank you, Dr. Ivan. Thank you, Dr. Ivan. All right, well, back to Who's the Boss, episode 4, called, of course, we were talking about one of the classic episodes where Mona is dating a younger man. I'm going to pop this on the screen here for a second. I'm going to just make sure we got it all coming together. Oh, geez. Every time I try to minimize this window. Okay. All right. I'm going to pop this up right now. Share my screen. All right, so here we go. The opening scene of Who's the Boss, episode 4. We'll get into it, and here we go. I think. Here we go. Or maybe not. Oh, there it is.
Wrench. Beer. Here's the good pipes.
All right, so let's just start right there. Great open. Tony Danza is getting drunk on the job, but we love him. He's a handyman. He's a nanny. He's fixing the sink and he's getting drunk at the same time. No problems there. Drinking on the job. But that's what we love about the show is just kind of like it broke down barriers about sexuality. It broke down barriers about casual alcoholics. And this is an episode that I think all this is going to come into play because a lot of people think that this is told through the perspective of Tony on a bender. So I hope all of you watch the episode that way, thinking maybe this is Tony on a bender. But before we get into Tony on a bender, I want to talk about drinking something else. The amazing people. There's so many amazing people that help do this show. And Molly, we get to talk to Molly all the time. Amazing super producer. But there are two people who I talk to every week. They help cut the clips for the show. They're amazing, Heather and CJ. And Heather came to my house a few weeks ago. They're from Pink Deer, and she brought me this Pepsi Zero Sugar Mango Pepsi, and it is Pepsi with a splash of mango flavor. It has 0 calories. No messing around. And the Pepsi logo is like little things of mango. So I'm going to try this on air. I told her I would try it on air. She wanted me to try it on air. Now, I don't want to get into, is this drank or stank? It's a little bit drank or stank, but I love the Doughboys. And I'm doing this because I must. And because I'm interested too. Okay. So this is me testing out Pepsi Zero Sugar Mango Soda, a real world test. Okay, here we go. Now, what I don't like about this so far is it's black. It's black like Pepsi. So none of that mango is popping here. If it was like a yellow drink, I would be a little bit more I'd be a little bit more excited about it. But this is black caramel. All right, here we go. Wow. I'm glad I brought out the wine glass because that is a powerful scent. Okay, right now, what I'm getting are elements of Febreze. This is okay. Like if a canning factory where they were canning mangoes caught on fire, this might be the smell that would be emanating from that factory throughout the town. And people are like, oh my God, it's like that mango fire that happened at the Del Monte factory. On the third smell, the mango is coming through more. I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm going to try my mango Pepsi. Here we go. Okay, well, wow. Hold on. This is fascinating because it tastes like the lightness of a mango. Like that lightness is there, but it would be like if you bit into a mango that was diet. Like this is a diet mango. I'm tasting some sort of like special, not sugar taste there, big time. It does have an element of maybe kind of munching on a dryer sheet. Like you ever have that feeling like, oh my gosh, Play-Doh would be so great to eat because it smells so good. This kind of has like, I wouldn't want to eat this, but I would be, oh, that's interesting. They got that to smell like a mango. It's chemically. It's definitely chemically. All right. Now, Heather says she genuinely likes this. Ooh, okay. People are saying I enjoy a Pepsi Mango. I guess what I have about it is this. If you like mango and you wish that someone poured a Diet Pepsi on that mango before you took your first bite, then that flavor profile works. And I was thinking, well, you know what? There's another thing I have in my fridge that I haven't opened either, and it's this. This is Starlight Coca-Cola. This is space flavor. Space. Let's see if we can get that. Space. Whoa. Hey, space flavored. So I don't know what that even means. Like astronaut ice cream? Are we talking about astronaut ice cream? Or we like what is space? Like space is not a flavor. I don't even think it's a flavor profile. You can't say, oh yeah, it's very spacey. Like that's not a, it's like earthy is thing, woody. I mean, certain kinds of like scotch are like dewy. Are they dewy or are they maybe moss? I don't know. But space seems cold, dark, lonely, silent. There doesn't seem any flavor in space. But we will now test out and look, they know. Coke knows that this is not going to be a great drink for you because they're not even giving you the full can. At least Pepsi Mango, they're like, we believe in our product. We're going to give you the full thing. Coke is like, you'll never drink more than this. You probably will drink about this much. So they're actually conserving a lot, aluminum and also product. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look and taste the cold and deadly flavor of space. Now, this is red. This is straight up red, like space. This is red. I see it. You can kind of see it there. Oh, here. There it is. Very red. Very nice. Let's take a smell here. Smells like a sweeter Coke. Not much smell. Not much smell coming off it. I would say that if anything, it smells like an off-brand gummy, like one of those gummies that like you're like, oh, it's not a Haribo because Haribo is the best. It's like, oh, it's like a gummy and they're not really clear. It's like a pink gummy, like a circus peanut that's trying to like. Do you know what circus peanuts are, by the way? The worst candy of all time. It's like a circus peanut trying to be a gummy bear. That's what I got here. Okay, so let's go. Again, the smell's not bad. The smell is sweet. All right, so here, take a look. Oh, that's painful. Oh, that's rough. Ooh, I don't even know how to describe it. Let me take one more sip. Okay, first of all, there's no flavor to it. It's a lot of like it's coming at you, and it's like it's almost flavor. It's like it's like if you ever try to get a license plate on a car and it just drove by you really quick, and you're like, oh, I think it was there's J, there's an H. That's how I feel about the flavor of this. On first hit, it's intense. You're like, no more. And now I've forgotten the flavor, but it just flew by me. It was like it is maybe like an asteroid field. I was like, I escaped danger. I don't know how you would drink this or why you would want to. Oh, maybe I should do the John Fetterman impression now. Like, oh, I'm gonna beat that guy, Oz. He's a doctor. Well, I'm a fistocologist. Punch him in his face. I think these John Fetterman impressions are coming out really good. People are asking, does it taste like the oxygen that's being sucked out of your body in space? No, I mean, you do taste a little bit of Sandy Bullock and George Clooney for their dead bodies just as they float around in space. I mean, I wish I had more to say, but there's nothing there. I mean, I guess if I'm hard pressed, I can say it's cotton candy, but it's not jumping off the surface. Okay, put that on the side. All right. Molly says she thinks it tastes like spicy bubble gum. Again, I even think that that's giving it too much. But yes, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess it has an aftertaste, an afterburn. It does feel like like, yeah, there's something in there. It's like, it's like, oh, yeah, you know what, Molly? You're right. That Coke tastes like the residue that's on your tongue and teeth after you've chewed gum for too long, like cheap ass gum, like Big League Chew or like bubble tape. It's like, that's what it feels like in my mouth. I'm like, oh, I need to like brush my teeth now, or I need to like eat a steak to get that out. That's what it feels like. Oof. Yeah. I don't like that at all. All right. Now going back to impressions again, I want to step it up for Rob. We have Jordan Blum coming up in a little bit, but I want to step it up for Rod. And the other person that people have said I should do an impression of, I actually don't even know this guy's name because I just saw it, and maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop right now. Molly, what is his name? Well, you know what? You'll see it. Molly, play the clip of the guy that people want me to play. Or somebody. Oh, here, okay. Okay.
Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along and pretend they give a about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to. Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right?
Could we pause
it's very
for
easy
one
for women
second?
to sit here and complain.
I don't know who this guy is. It's not Ray Romano. It's not Pitbull's angry brother. But I don't understand why the Grand Theft Auto is on during it. Is he playing it? Is someone playing this? Like, why mix up the two here? But that guy drifting in Grand Theft Auto is pretty impressive. This is the guy who keeps on getting banned. I don't know what his name is. But like, this is his argument. I like. Do you have that? Andrew Tate. All right. So people wanted me to do an impression of Andrew Tate. Let's see. Molly, do you have that other clip too? If you don't okay. People add their gameplay so they don't get taken down for stealing other people's stuff. That's why. Oh boy. All right. So this is the guy. Oh, Andrew Tate is from the Pickup Artist. All right. So let's see. All right. This is another one. Let's see. This will be funny here. All right. Working on my Andrew Tate.
It's a big thing. All right. You're also known. You said it appears wildly sexist stuff. Are you anti-woman?
I love women. In fact, interesting statistic.
Fuck cigars, man. I love
sex
it.
with women. So I love women. I have nothing against women at all. I'm not sexist in any regard. I'm not misogynist either. I'm a realist.
A realist.
Like, I'm a realistic person. As a realist in the modern world, they're going to call you sexist, misogynist, etc. But I'm none of those things. I am just.
Why do they call you that? Why do they call you that?
Because I say,
what do you think it is that you say that makes people think you're like sexist?
Okay, great. All right, so let's say, all right. I think I got this guy a little bit. Maybe that's too much accent. All right, so he got busted for trafficking. All right, so I don't want to just rant and do. All right, how about this? All right, let me get my cigar. All right, here's my impression of Andrew Tate. This is, you control the show. You told me what you wanted to see. You wanted to see me do an impression of John Fetterman and Andrew Tate. Here's impression number 2. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to figure out what I should say here. I don't want to also duplicate his awfulness, which is, I think, let me get all red lights behind me. I'll do that. All right, let's see. Get my red lights going. Only red. Okay, only red. And I'm gonna pull up this scene. Let me get the how's that like? Jeez. All right, I'm gonna try to get all the lights in the room red. Okay, hold on one second. Here we go, people. All right, boom. Add to my scenes. Here we go. Red. Give me red. There. That's all red in the back. All right, I'm gonna jack up my lights here. Get myself a nice good tan. And then, okay, here we go. That's good. All right, let me tell you about women. All right. Women are types of people. Is that the beginning of it? Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. Here's the deal about women. Women are looking for smart men. Fuck them. Fuck them for having an opinion and not just taking the dried meat that these men are at the club. All these men coming in, dressing like shit, get no attention. Why? Because women are totally stuck up. Right now, not me. I love women. Women are amazing. Could I beat them in a fight? Absolutely. That's a known fact. Men can fight women and win. How do I know? Because I used to do it professionally. Now, the other thing about women is they are so excited that they don't have a penis. Is that something? I don't know. I was gonna do
Well, he literally makes that exact argument about men being stronger than women in like 3 minutes of this clip.
What a fucking jerk. All right. How about this? Let me tell you something about dogs, okay? Dogs don't care about cats. You have all these cats out there trying to get all the attention of the dogs, right? But cats are never going to get the attention of the dogs because the cats think they're smarter. But the dogs are actually the dumb ones. Andrew Tate talking about Andrew Tate on birds. Oh yeah, maybe it's like Andrew Tate on children. All right. I love children, but children are stupid. We all know children are stupid. I could beat up any children that I see. I could beat up multiple children. I am stronger than most children. That's a fact. It's genetics. Okay. Now, let me ask you about this. Most kids get attention. If they're crying on the street, if they're asking where their mommy is, people are going to go over and talk to them. But most adults, they could be crying on the street and we cross the street. Why? Because children have been brought up that they actually need attention. All right, let me tell you about this. I once saw a child, all right, and he was having a balloon in his hand and he let it go up to the sky. And someone bought him a new balloon. No adult, no male adult will ever get the same attention. Children are being babied, and the worst ones are the babies. That's my impression of Andrew Tate. More jealousy. I got. Oh yeah, I should have smoked this car. Children are the worst. Let me tell you this. I'm fascinated. Why don't children have to pay rent? All right, I'm an adult. I have to pay rent. But here, these children, they don't have to pay rent. But yet I could beat up a child, which means if I could beat up a child, I shouldn't have to pay rent either. Oh, and this is the other thing. I have spent thousands of dollars on Ubers. I never drive because I'm always drunk. So when I have a kid, he gets driven around. Oh, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Oh, it's like they have their own personal Uber. Now, meanwhile, they don't have credit cards. I have credit cards. I have credit card debt because I have to get this thing. But these children get to go wherever they want. What do they want for dessert? Oh, ice cream. Ice cream. Isn't that great? And guess what? Children don't even have to work out. That's a fact. Look it up. I challenge you to look it up. But adults need to. And look, I love children. I'm just saying they're weaker, they're dumber, and they get a free ride. All right, that's my Andrew Tate. Molly has a good joke too. Andrew Tate on women. My dick is 10% bigger than any other woman's dick. Oh no, child. Sorry, child. Here's another thing about children. My dick is bigger than most kids, but yet they get more care and attention. All right. That was some Andrew Tate impressions. And I go back to, and this is my John Fetterman lighting. Here we go. John Fetterman lighting. I watched that Andrew Tate video. That guy's a real jagoff. Here, hold on. Watch that Andrew Tate video. That guy's a real jagoff. Pepsi. Vote for me. Okay. This is too bright. I should get into my Andrew Tate. Children are stupider than men. Or no, children get more. All right. Well, one good idea. The Fetterman one, half and half. All right, how are we going? Let's get this back down to normal lighting here. Okay. I think that's better. All right. Drink a whole can of that Pepsi Max. I would, but I think it would kill me. All right. So much other stuff I want to talk about as well. Hold on one second. What else I have here? I have a couple of little details that I've been wanting to chat about. Is there any here? Okay. Oh no, we've been doing good. Okay. We talked about the Ron DeSantis, which I could get into. Let's see. Let's check in a little bit in the middle of the episode. Let's see this guy that Mona is dating. Let's check out who Mona is dating. Here we go. All right. Mona. Okay, if you're just joining us now, we're in the middle of our Who's the Boss recap podcast. This is episode 4 of season 1, where Mona is dating a younger guy and Angela disapproves. If you're just checking in right now, and here we go. Let's check out what's happening here with Mona.
Whoa. I'm sorry.
Now, Tony, this is not what you're thinking.
I ain't thinking.
I'm sure that you've seen two people kissing before.
Not these two. I came in here for the old washers. See, I went to the hardware store. I'm fixing the sink, and the water went all over the place.
Okay, first of all, I love that they're keeping the runner of the broken sink. I also am curious why he would be reacting that hard. Yes, he's a younger man, but he's not like ridiculously younger. How old do we think he is? I'm bad at ages. I mean, I feel like that guy's like what, 30, and Mona's like what, 50? That's about okay. He's 15. No, he's a 30s to 40s. That's right. Okay. But I love that they're going for it. Oh, so we're gonna break it down here too. But is it wrong to date a younger man? Let's discuss it today on the Who's the Bossiest podcast. Molly, hit that theme song one more time. Yes, amazing. Thank you, Buttonhead. So look, that guy's about 30 years old, and we're talking about this today on the Who's the Bossiest show. Is it okay to be a 50-year-old woman dating a 30-year-old man if it's consensual? This is not his teacher. This is just a normal relationship. Do we find it to be as offensive as Tony's cut off sweatshirt? Because he's really rocking a flash dance style there. I never understood why you need to cut the collar out of your sweatshirt. Not that he's that bulky. But let's just see where here. Let's check out another time with Mona coming home with this man. Here we go. Now we get what happens. Mona was fucking this guy, and she put on her sweater the wrong way. Again, 8:00 Tuesday nights, ABC. We're not afraid to go there. Okay, young boy finds the pin because Mona has been not taking this 30-year-old man up to her room, which is above the garage in the reality of the show, but she's been fucking him in a car. And now, you know what? I kind of think that Mona knows exactly what she's up to. I think, or you know what? I bet you they weren't even fucking. I bet you they were just going for like second base action there. Second base action, or I don't know. That was a great bit where Mona, look at this face on Mona when she realizes she's been caught fucking by Danny Pintaro. All right, we're gonna get more into Who's the Boss, but last week on the show, I was obsessed with Jim Adler, the Hammer. That's right, the Hammer, Jim Adler. We're going to talk about a new character that came up because a lot of people have a lot of feelings about Jim Adler. A lot of it is adoration. People love Jim Adler. Somebody sent me a commercial. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it with you. But before I do that, I'm also going to address a big thing. It is fantasy football season. It is coming up right now. Draft day for most of your leagues. If it hasn't happened, it's happening this weekend. I'm sure you're pissed off about the time. I'm sure your family is upset that you're doing it on a weekend or a late night, and they don't understand why. But you know what? We all get it. Fantasy football is important. You have to have your bragging rights. I'm in 2 leagues right now. 2 great leagues. I love my leagues. I transferred everybody over to Sleeper. It's a great app for fantasy. But whenever fantasy football season starts, I get asked one question. The question is, Paul, will you set my draft order? And I say right now, so I'll give it to you nice and clean. People always ask me, Paul, will you set my draft order? And I'm messing up my own setup for this. People always ask me, Paul, can you please get on Cameo? And if you get on Cameo, you can set my draft order. And no, I'm not going to get on Cameo. No offense to anyone on Cameo, not for me. I'm here with you right now. You don't have to pay $50 for me to say hi to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you set your draft order. If you are in a league, start clipping this section of the show right now. I'm going to set your draft order. Okay. The person who goes first in your draft has the most water bottles in their car. Okay. That's how we are going to judge this. The person with the most water bottles, we have to prove it, in their car gets to draft first. So everyone, look in your car, see if you have water bottles in there. The person who gets to draft second has to have the weirdest celebrity picture. Okay, so everyone can submit pictures. The commissioner's going to have to decide who has the weirdest celebrity picture. Now, the person who goes last in your draft, this is going to be a tricky one to bring up to the group. They have the nicest house, apartment, whatever. They go last because you know what? Let's knock them down a peg. I don't always need to be winning in life. Let's put them down lower. The next one is anyone who sends in an earnest poem. I'm talking about like a poem from the heart. Yes, we are writing it for this purpose, but an earnest poem about what fantasy football means to them gets to go third in the draft. People might do it. And again, we'll have to judge it by who is the most earnest. So make sure you're being the most earnest. And then the final spot, I mean, because I don't know how big your league is. I'm in a 14-team league. I'm in a 12-team league. The rest you can figure out. Let's just do it by alphabetical order by their middle names. But I'm going to give you one more challenge. The second to last person. The second to last person is the person in your group who, trying to think of a good one here. All right, the second to last person in your draft is the person who, I was going to say told the biggest lie, but then that might get too confrontational. Let me see if it's like can the earnest poem be about Ernest? Yes, if it's Ernest. All right. Well, you're not, look, there. I love that. That's a beautiful poem. Go with that. All right, the last one, I'm trying to think of a good one. Because most drafts are remote. Okay. Second to last person in your draft has the shittiest Zoom setup. If you're doing remote, shittiest Zoom setup. And if you're in person, has dressed the shittiest. That is what I'm giving you. Those are your rules for the draft. I hope that helps. People also want me to come up with like sacco punishments for your league. I'm some sacco punishments for your league. If you want them, I'll give them to you right now. You have to start a TikTok account of just how-to tips and like life hacks, and none of them should work. Like you should say like, oh, just put a COVID mask on the back of a hairdryer and then attach that hairdryer to a plastic bottle and it becomes a vacuum. But whatever you are pitching can't work. You have to run it for 3 months. You have to post twice a week for 3 months on TikTok. And there are life hacks that you have to present as seriously as possible, and none of them can work. So people will get very pissed off when you show them a way to cut a strawberry more effectively, and it will never work when they're actually doing it. So I like that one as a sacco punishment. It's not that bad. It's just about, let's see, post 2 times a week, 2 times a week for 3 months. That is, that's like 24 posts. Oh yeah, 24 posts, right? Or 12. Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, another sacco punishment is you have to get, this is another car-based one. You have to borrow someone's car, the worst person's car for a month. You have to take that person's car, or you rent. No, maybe what you should do is this: you have to rent the most exotic car. Like if you go to Hertz or something like that, or you go to like Avis, they do have exotic cars. You have to rent the most exotic car and drive it everywhere. And I think that would be embarrassing, right? Would that be embarrassing? Is that not good? This is Sacco. Yes, I am saying Sacco punishment. What am I saying? Am I not saying Sacco punishment? Okay. Yes, Sacco. I'm trying to think of one more thing. Oh, okay. Great Sacco punishment. Great one. You have to do 12 paintings. It could be watercolors, it could be acrylic, it could be coloring in your kid's coloring book, whatever it is. You have to do at least 12 and then rent out a room at a local hotel, Marriott, Hilton, whatever you want to do, Wyndham Resorts, and rent out a conference center and then hold an art gallery display for your work. I actually going to add photography to that too. And you have to have at least 12 pieces. All of them have to be named, and you have to bring your fantasy league around to each piece and describe them. And you can let the event be open to the public. Anyone in your league can send it up on Craigslist, like art opening here at the place. All right, so there we go. These are that's actually your two best Sacco punishments. I'm going to do the art gallery and the TikTok. Those are your best two. All right, I think those are good. That's for finishing last. Should I set it up better and say like, a lot of people ask me about their Sacco punishments. Sacco punishments are when you finish last in fantasy football. They should be humiliating. They should be hard. They should make you never want to lose in fantasy football again. And the number one Sacco punishment, like I said, is starting a TikTok account for 3 months where you have to post twice a week. And each time you post, it has to be a life hack that doesn't work. The second punishment is you need to produce art, whether it's photos, paintings, drawings, anything at all. I'm actually going to say mixed media. So I want sculpture, painting. I want 12 different types of art projects. You're going to then rent out a conference room at a local hotel. You're going to hang them on the wall. You're going to display them, and you're going to bring in your fantasy group, and you're going to show them each painting. You describe them in earnest, not as earnest. And your fantasy team can put that notice out on Craigslist so other people can come and watch you present at your art gallery show. Those are the two Sacco punishments I have for finishing last place in fantasy football. I hope that helps. There you go. It could launch somebody's career. It could if you take it seriously. You know, not all my things aren't bad. They're not bad, but they're hard. You have to do something. I mean, producing 12 pieces of art, and let's say you have to produce those 12 pieces of art in a month and a half. Okay. All right, we are getting very close to our next guest, which we'll have to save a little bit of our Who's the Boss conversation. Let's just see a little bit here when Angela decides to find the right match for this one. Angela decides to find the right match for Mona, somebody that was age appropriate. So take a look at this.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole thing is a lot of horse pucking. I'm sure your mother's an okay lady, but she's just too old for our boy.
Somehow, our son thinks that we should be understanding just because of the difference in our ages. Oh, is there a difference?
Oh, it's not the same thing at all. He's got an older lady, and I've got me a young chick.
Wow. Oh, wow. This show is again pushing boundaries here once again. That's why he does it. Wow. So Mona is 55 in the show, and they don't want her dating a 30-year-old. And the man is coming from a household where the father looks about 80 and is dating like a 30-year-old. But that's different because when men do it, it's fine. So I like seeing some grandpa necking, some grandpa kissing, some grandpa tonguing. Always good there. Who is the boss? Now, I know that Jordan, who is the creator of MODOK, that Hulu show, but also is coming out with a brand new comic that he co-wrote with Patton Oswalt. He is coming today in just a few minutes. He is at ET right now with his family. So hopefully he'll be able to make it. If not, I think it's time for us to watch a commercial. All right, so last week on the show, we talked about Jim Adler, the Hammer. Someone said, if you like Jim Adler, you're going to like this commercial. So let's check this out. I haven't seen it yet, Molly.
every moment of every day, we are fighting and winning for our clients. Thomas
All right,
J.
pause it.
Attorneys
All right,
available 24.
Thomas J. Henry. This is crazy. Hold on. Pop me the full screen here. Or unless you want me to see something here. This is wild. Thomas J. Henry, another lawyer, not like the Hammer, is basically saying, I'm making so much money off of you. You can't believe it. Like, that doesn't instill goodwill in me. It feels like, yes, you got $10 million for your client, but you kept 8 of that. And you charge me more. And anyway, I like walked away with like $100,000, and you are buying that house, that mansion. This is whoever told him, like, we need to show you living in the lap of luxury. He can't even carry his briefcase onto an airplane. He drives a Bentley, or doesn't even drive it. He rides in his own Bentley to a private jet field. Is he going to work in the jet field? Like, I mean, is he going like, because he like, is he too like, I don't even live in the city that I represent people in because it's trash. You're all trash. I live in a beautiful mansion far, far away from you human pieces of garbage. But like, are you wanting to work with someone who is that rich, or you want to work with someone like the Hammer who's like, God damn it, I'm here for you. I'm gonna like take a mallet to any local Mack truck. That is look, here's the thing. I believe that those are all his real things, his Bentley and his jet, and I'm sure he wrote it off because he's a fucking smart lawyer. But that is really, truly not the way to win over like clients. Because go back to that, Molly. Go back to the beginning of that. I guess like we feel like, oh, he must be successful because he has all of this stuff. First of all, it looks like he has a private pond. Okay, this beautiful piece of property here, gorgeous dog, well manicured, even a little bench there. What else we got? All right, let's see what else we see in his house. So he got his client $20 million. Now the front of this house is nice. It's nice. It looks a little like cookie cutter-ish. I've seen these kind of places before. And now we're going to see he's drinking coffee weird. Go back to that, Molly. This is why I don't trust him. He could have a Bentley, he could have it, but he doesn't have a fucking handle on his coffee mug. He's drinking coffee straight out of like a cup. He's drinking coffee like some sort of animal. I don't need this guy in that. I don't trust anyone who drinks coffee without a cup. And then he gets in a Bentley that he does not drive. We see an aerial shot of his compound. Let's see that compound one more time. Okay. Looks too tough to me. All right. Client, $5.6 million. Now got beautiful lighting on those eyes. It looks a little bit like an angry Mike Pence. This is like John Fetterman and Mike Pence joined together. And they decided the goatee wasn't good, but the tough guy look is great. And again, not a guy I want to work with. He seems humorless. Why is his entire company meeting him at the airfield? Meet him in the office. And then the carbon footprint that this guy's putting down, too high. Molly, check out that TH Law site to see if we got anything on there. But all right, so right there, I by the way, thank you for introducing me to Thomas Law there. I love Thomas Law. I mean, people are saying like, I don't think that ad costs that much, but it is the best ad that we've seen. So far, it is the best ad that we've seen. I would say Fetterman's is the worst. And I would say that Ron DeSantis is the most cringy. That one is the most mind-boggling. Okay. So all right. So this is the Thomas Law. All right, so he's another Texas lawyer. So this guy is going to go head-to-head with Jim Adler. Can you type in, Molly, if Jim Adler and this guy have any beef? I want to see if they have any beef. Like this, yeah, slogans for this guy. This is great. Let's do this. Let's do this for a second. Slogans for Thomas J. Law. This guy hasn't taken out the trash for 35 years. Shopping mall. He hasn't gone inside any store since he was a child. His parents paid for law school, and he didn't pay them back. Thomas J. Law. Thomas J. Law is in a loveless marriage with his wife, but they pose great in pictures together. Thomas has this Bentley, because he hasn't been able to perform sex on his own family. Not family. Thomas J. Law has this Bentley because he's never been able to have sex in his entire life. Thomas J. Law, he hates himself, so he'll fight harder for you. What's this one here? Thomas J. Law has a new mutant to wipe his butt every day. Okay, what is this one? Friend Zone, have you looked up the anti-lawyer, aka Brown Law Group? All right, let's look it up. Thomas J. Law, no eye contact unless we win. So like, I guess like in that way, you would want him to give you eye contact validation. Thomas J. Law, even though he wins, he makes you feel like a piece of shit. like Thomas J. Law, even if he wins for you, he'll make you feel guilty about getting injured on the job because that's just the person he is. All right, this is the flamboyant, fame-seeking heavyweight champ of Texas. Oh, there he is. Wow. He's out and about. He's partying, has a bunch of people lined up. Well, okay, well, we'll get into it. All right, I have to do a little bit of research on Thomas J. Law. This is a pretty intense thing. Molly, if you find anything else out, Thomas J. Law, if you guys went to the bathroom together, he'd have more piss than you. Like, oh, wait, why are you saying that, Thomas? He just does. Thomas J. Law drinks more water and is more hydrated than you'll ever be. So don't mess with him. Thomas J. Law, more piss than most lawyers. I'm having fun today. This is just an insane show. I have the great Molly here. But we have so much to get to. Let me just make sure that our guest is coming, because if he's not coming, I'm not going to keep on plugging him. But I would, oh, he just said, oh, I didn't get a link. Oh yeah, she didn't get a link. Sorry. That's why. I'm glad I looked. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm gonna say right there. We went to junk. Molly, can you send? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm glad I checked. My my email. That was great. So we actually have a guest. Where is Rob? I don't know. I know where Rob is. Rob, after spending a month away in Chicago, is at taking a break with his wife and family, and God bless him. He needs to. Just some information about how did this get made and the tour. Jason Mantzoukas is back home in Los Angeles, and if everything goes according to plan, he will be with us next Wednesday at Largo for our Dinosaur Improv show. It's Jason Mantzoukas, it's Nicole Byer, Phil Augusta Jackson, the creator of Grand Crew, Rob Riggle, myself, Rob Hubel, Owen Burke, Chad Carter, Seth Morris. It's a great, big, fun show over at Largo next Wednesday. It's our first Wednesday night show. Come out if you're in LA. Check us out. It's a blast. Zooks is back on the mend, and as far as rescheduling our touring dates, we are very close to locking in our 4 dates. They're going to be back-to-back, going to be at the end of October, Knockwood. Right now, it feels like that is the plan. It can all change like that, but I feel confident that we're going to be wrapping that up pretty soon. We're excited to get back out on the road, do more shows, and really finally, I mean, for all those people who I made watch Oogie Loves, we need to make sure we pay off that debt. We can't have you watch that without any, without anything on the other side of it. You just can't walk away from that. Same movies. Yes, same movies that we did. We're not changing up the movies. We're not going to change anything there. We're going to keep it all the same. It's just postponed, not changed. I think it would be weird if we changed them. A lot of you did all your work already. So I was talking about this gentleman before. Hilarious writer, creator, has a brand new comic book out that he co-wrote with Patton Oswalt called Minor Threats. His Hulu show MODOK on Hulu was great, also starring Patton Oswalt. Please welcome Jordan Blum.
Hey, Paul. Hey.
What's going on? Welcome. I normally host the show with Rob Hubel. It is our Who's the Boss recap podcast. We always are trying to talk about Who's the Boss as much as we can, but we get sidetracked. So, I'm happy to get sidetracked here with you today. But if you have any thoughts about Who's the Boss, Always open to him.
I don't have any specific thoughts other than I remember there was a spec script that was going around. People used to write specs to get noticed, right, to get hired. And there was one where people used to do this thing where they would take old sitcoms and kind of redo them or modernize them or just make them really twisted, right? There's like is there a Seinfeld, I think 9/11 one that was pretty.
Yeah, I remember like reading there was like a one with like Full House where the youngest got like her period and they were all dealing with that. Like it was a lot of like it was like shocking. Like, oh, you read this one? Have you read that? Yeah, I remember that back in the day.
So the Who's the Boss one was that Tony finds a glory hole and sticks his dick into it. Has no idea who's on the other side. It's a mystery of who's on the other side from the cast. So that's the only thing I have to offer for Who's the Boss. I remember reading that.
It's so funny because I did feel like all of them were like vulgar, and I think the idea was like originally like just be creative. Like, oh, you could switch it up. It's like this is the one where the Golden Girls like kill 5 dudes and like eat them. Like, it was always like really super dark, but they were super fun to pass around. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm such a fan of yours. I don't think we've ever really met. Or we talked a lot, but I feel like so it's great to see you.
Thank you. You too.
And I read the first issue of Minor Threats, which is great. We have an image of this right here. This is your brand new comic book, which you and Patton wrote together, and the premise of it is great. I don't know, like this is where I'm bad at knowing exactly how much I should tell people about it, because I also don't want to spoil I didn't know anything about it. So when I read it, I was like, first of all, the art is amazing. And it was such a fun read. It kind of like scratched an itch for me. Like I always loved Astro City.
Yes. Huge influence on this.
Yeah. And it was like, and the idea of like the world of like the lower tier superheroes are villains, and it's a great thing. But tell me how you would pitch Minor Threats.
I'll just say you can spoil away. The book's out.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll make people want to read it. I think the more they hear about it, hopefully.
But basically, like in this world, I won't use all the names because I'll forget them all. But you can help me. But like a bad guy kills the sidekick of like a very, very powerful superhero, and then basically like it is like a reckoning for all like the lower tier bad guys, essentially, right? Like they're basically gonna get like they're not getting hunted, but they kind of have to band together to kind of well, I mean, I guess. Well,
I'll help you out. It's the idea of like what happens when the Joker, someone like of that level, takes Gotham hostage. It kind of trickles down. It's like hell for the little guys, the lifers. The guys who the more blue collar costume criminals who are just trying to like. They're professionals. They don't care about Infinity Gauntlets or
they just wanted to get the score.
Chaos.
It's like exactly.
Yeah, they're professionals. So the heroes are beating them up for information and shaking them down. It's like it's bad for business. So our is kind of told from the perspective of these C-listers who are like, this guy Stickman, who's kind of our version of Joker, has killed the sidekick to the Insomniac, and now it's brought in our version of a Justice League, the Continuum, who's turned this city into a police state, and it's just hell for these little guys. And they're like, look, we know the criminal underworld better than anyone else. Hey there.
Sorry, what's going on, buddy? So sorry. Oh, what are you doing, bud? Okay. So sorry.
This is every Zoom I have every hour. I know this.
Why? Get out of here. He's laughing. Get out of here. So sorry. I'm so sorry.
And then the Joker slaughters everyone.
You can't hear a word.
Okay.
Sorry.
So basically, it's these guys going, look, there's a bounty on this guy's head. We know the criminal underworld better than anyone else. Like, we'll go out, we'll kill this A-lister, and life will be better for us. And that's kind of where the book launches. That story.
It's such a fun world to me, because I feel like oftentimes, like I think the books and the voices I respond to so much in comics, are like these amazing fans, but you also are coming at it from such a fun, like, I think that your writing is so funny as well. Like, and I
Oh,
feel like
thank
that's
you.
like, like, and it's like, and I love so many great, I would say that in the grand scheme of like comic book writers, there are some funny writers, but I think that they are the ones that really are like, this is like a very funny, it's a great, but it's like, it's all the things I want. Like sometimes I'm like, again, like with After City, I'm like, I love it. It's great. It's not like funny, but it's interesting and it's good. Like this kind of gives you everything. Like it kind of gives you both sides of it. I just love the bar. And yeah, I was really into it right now. And so how did you and Patton come up with doing it together?
We had worked on a bunch of shows, including MODOK together, and continue to kind of develop stuff. But this came about through he had done a Black Hammer book for Dark Horse, and the editor reached out and was like, "Do you have any ideas?" And Patton had this idea for a Batman story, and I had been working on something about kind of these C-list villains, and we basically kind of combined these into what would become Minor Threats. But for us, huge nerds who have book, seen every movie and TV show, we're like, no one is doing like crime fiction, no one's telling the story of kind of the underdog criminal, because I think we're huge noir fans and huge like Coen Brothers fans. We're like, let's do Fargo, in a superhero universe, and like let's tell this would be like a huge Dark Knight blockbuster, but from the street level, the guys who get beat up in the cold open, not the Joker, not Batman. Let's see the street level guys and how much, like, whenever there's this big, with death in the family, Robin's been murdered, like, these guys pay the price, not the Joker,
Right.
So that was
I love that. Like, I love that idea that it trickles down to like the people who can't, like, it's like, yeah, they're the easy prey, right? They're the ones that get on the hook. They're the ones that are wrapped up there, like the Spider-Man takes, and just like catch them later, whatever it is. And it kind of reminds me of also, like, I loved, was it Gotham Central, Ed Brubaker's Gotham Central, where you got to see like the cops just like, yeah, man, this is like, it's like, yeah, we're in this city. It's kind of tricky. But I've written a handful of comics, and I love it. And I'm also so stressed out by it because it's such I think for people who don't know, there's you're doing everything all at once, or at least in my opinion. Like when I get to, whether it's animated or live action, like you write the script, then you cast it, then you shoot it, and you edit it. And all those times that you're working on it, you get to make changes. You get to go back in even and re-record something, or, edit little frames. But here I feel like with comics, it has to be done. It just has to be done. Like you have to know what you want right away. And that's really, is that hard for you? It's hard for me.
Well, yeah, I think the immediacy of it is the best part and the worst part, right? Because you're like, I wrote this thing, it got drawn, and it's coming out next month. Like, like that never happens in TV and film. You're like, oh, I have to go promote this thing. Comics is great because it's like, oh, I just sent the script off, and now I just got like rough breakdowns from the artist immediately, which is so cool. But you kind of have to know the story you're telling. You kind of have to take your ego, biggest thing, because TV is very much a writer's medium and comics are an artist medium. It's like, oh, what are a good comic writer is someone who sets their artist up to be like a great director, and how do I write towards them and what they're good at and what's going to make me look good. Like, this isn't about me. People read comics for the art, it's a visual media, visual storytelling, medium. So it's freeing in a weird way, and it's also like, even when you're writing a screenplay, right, you're trying to make it as tight and sparse as possible, but like comics even more so, because you don't want to fill this thing up with bubbles. Like, people are gonna be like, get that out of here. I want to see the image, So it's a lot of editing, I think, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna write this amazing.
Well, like the first time that Jerry dug in, like, I asked him for some help because I was writing a book for Boom, and he was like, the one piece of advice I can give you, and this is for anyone out there who's doing anything like this, it's like, he's like, always make sure you get a last edit pass, because when you go through and you look at all your words on the page with the art, you'll be like, oh, I don't need these words anymore, because like the art is actually doing the job. But it's like, it's that tricky thing of like making sure that you are constantly, as much as you can, highlighting the art, highlighting the story without like getting in the way. Because I've read other people who all of a sudden you'll see like these word balloons that are that big, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like losing the energy of it. It is like a pacing that's really kind of wild. I love doing it. It gives me such anxiety when I am doing it. But yeah, I was excited to see. Now, have you done this before? Have you done a bunch of comics before? That I did not know.
We did a MODOK one that kind of tied in our show to make sense in the Marvel universe. Like we brought our characters into the 616.
Right.
So that was really fun. That's where we met Scott. And then I've done a few others. I've done some Spider Bots stuff, those things in the Spider-Man ride.
Yeah,
for my kids.
I love
Finally,
those.
they could read something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm doing a few others for Marvel, but this is really my second comic. And luckily Patton has done a lot more than I, so it's been easy to lean on him a little bit. But Jerry is also a friend of mine, and I was like, give me scripts. Like he was so helpful, in image is going to capture what would be a 5-minute scene. How do I boil that down to one image and one line of dialogue? And it's a cool exercise. I think it made me a better writer when it came to TV and movies, because it's like more disciplined in a weird way.
Yeah, I think it like allows you. You have to use so much more of your descriptive nature, and and like you said, you're taking away a lot of the fluff of your own dialogue, which I think is actually a great. It's a great way to edit. I loved your show on Hulu, and and I am, like it was to me like it's such a fun character, and I love the fact that for like a brief moment. And I feel like you were the only show, and I like I don't want to walk you into saying anything that like if a Marvel arrow is going to come in here and like shoot you in the neck.
That's fine.
But I think you had this like there's like a brief moment in these like 5 series that Hulu was going to do, and you were like I think the only surviving one that kind of got through the window of actually getting out. It was so fun to be like, oh, can we have fun in this world? I had done something for Marvel 616, like a documentary series about brute force. And it was just fun, to play in that world. And there's a brute force reference in MODOK, like on a billboard. Like but there's like this. But yeah, like I feel like I want that sense of fun in there, and I think that was what was so great to see in that show. Just like it was just it can be all different styles. I think that's the one thing that the DCU does really well, which is like it doesn't have to all be under one banner. I get like the She-Hulks and all that sort of stuff, but like we can have the fun with like side characters and like things that you're never going to make into something bigger. But I guess the idea is like everything is going to be made into something at one point, so you can't touch anything.
I don't know. It's to me, it's a weird thing, because it's like I think of the comics first. I don't think of the movies first, because that's how I was raised. I came up on this stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, these characters have been interpreted 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times by artists and writers, and like MODOK's a great example where like sometimes he was a legit threat, and other times he's just like the butt of the joke. And to me, that's what's fun about these characters. They are flexible. Like Batman, can be in this kids movie. I just took my kids to go see the Super Pets one, and then in the other movie that came out that my kids probably can't see until they're like 15.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing to see kids dressed as Batman. I was reading a really funny thing. Someone was telling me that Michael Keaton, at the height of being Batman, right? He is full blown, giant superstar as Batman, and his son loved Superman. And it was like the funny, like he was like just saying like he like was trying to be like, your dad's Batman. It's like, no, I have no.
Look, the emblem and the cowl and the
come to set. No, he's like, I like Superman. I was like, oh, you can't. But no, I totally agree with you. The idea of like interpreting characters and having fun with them. It's like, it is like that's the fun of the form a little bit, is this like different writers take on stuff. Like I never really liked Thor before I read like Jason Aaron's version of Thor. Like that was just, like I just connected to that differently. I like, oh, I really like this character now. And like, I have a bunch of favorite writers that all kind of exist in that same kind of world. Like whatever gets you brought in, like sometimes a writer will make me enjoy a character that I've never really thought that much about. And I think that that's kind of a great thing. I mean, ideally, would you ever want to could you make Minor Threats into something bigger? Would you want to?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely, have been approached and we're talking about it, but for us, we were very specific. We're like, we don't want to think about the movie or TV
Right.
version of this until it's done, because I feel like, as a comics fan, I can sniff out when someone takes their like old pilot and they're
Yes.
just like, oh yeah, just draw it. There we
Yeah.
go. Now I can bring it back to Hollywood and I can sell it because I have storyboards. And I
It's
feel like,
technically IP. Now it's IP. It's like,
yeah, I saw so much of that, and those are really bad comics. So we were like,
yeah.
we want this to be pure. We want a love letter to comics, like, because I would not throw Dark Horse under the bus. They're a bit fantastic, but they were like, when can we start talking about what this could,
Right. Of
maybe a
course.
show something?
Yeah.
We're like, later, let
Yeah.
let this be. We just want to write the story, get it all out. Only think of it in comic
Get the
form, and then we're
fans,
happy to be, to think about it else.
get the
Yeah.
fans there so you can disappoint them when you translate it to something else. And they're like, no, the bar didn't look like that in the comic
Yeah.
book. I'm mad now. No, but it's
We
like,
need people angry on Reddit, and we can't do that unless people like the original source material.
exactly.
So,
You got to
yeah.
get them invested in the source material first. I won't keep you for too much longer, but I will say, like, I know that you said that you went out to go see ET tonight. Did you get to go see ET today?
Yeah, always check your Fandango ticket thing, because I definitely did not see it in IMAX. I saw it normal, but whatever. It was still amazing to see it. People were clapping. I mean, I cried the last hour of it, I think. Like,
Yeah.
from the moment the bike takes off the first time, I'm already kind of sobbing. And then, it was great. My oldest one was like, "Why are people upset? He lives." And I was like, "Shut up. Some people haven't seen this." My younger one was with me the whole way, loving it, and it's still like so
It was
magical. People clapped. I mean, how often do people clap at a movie?
It's so much fun to see those movies like on the big screen. Like I recently seen ET with my kids and I watch it with them for the first time. And I realized as they're watching ET, it's not part of their culture. They don't know anything about ET and they're just watching for the first time. And then they start crying like when ET dies. And I realized in that moment, I was like, our kids didn't grow up with these movies that I think helped us all like understand
Mhm.
emotions, right? Like there's so
Yeah,
many things out there for kids now, but very few things like besides Pixar movies, and
yeah.
even Pixar movies just do a very certain version of that, like get you like in the heart, like they're like, and it's
Mhm.
like I saw Pete's Dragon with my kid too, the David Lowery, or
That's
he
great.
did like a live action. It's so good, and it's like, oh wow, these movies are such an important part of like maturing as a human
Yeah.
being because you
You're
feel,
confronting, yeah,
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 well, that's the thing I noticed watching another modern kids movie. He would die, and then it would, like, be, like, 2 like, a minute tops, right? Where then they'd be like, "Oh, no, he's fine, he's fine."
yeah,
They draw out the death, like, you're hearing almost like they're calling cause of death. They're, like,
yeah.
talking about all the things they did to try and save him. It's like a 5 or 7 minute sequence of him being dead and hearing him die and hearing doctors talk about him being dead and cutting to every kid's reaction to him being dead. It's not manipulative in any way. It's just selling the reality of the moment. But that would
Right.
never fly today. It would be like, don't worry, kids, just kidding. He's alive. And like
I-
E.T. lets you live in it. It's crazy.
Well, and I think that's the whole thing. It's like you gotta like experience. Like I talk about this scene in Goonies that I love so much. It's like the Fratellis have kidnapped a Chunk, and they're trying to get him to talk, and they're holding his hand over a blender that's about to like turn on, and they're like, and it's the most scary thing because like a blender is such a violent, like more violent
Yeah.
than a gun in like a moment of seeing someone's fingers there, and like it's like these adult people like holding a kid down to a table to like essentially like just blend his fingers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but that's fun. It's like my kids are like, ooh, it's scary. Like they want to
Yeah.
look away. Like it's like you want to feel these
It's
like
visceral.
real
It
and
feels
visceral. Yeah.
real. Yeah, it's a real threat. And now you'd have parents group being like, we're gonna lose like 30 hands to blenders this year for kids reenacting Goonies. Like
I
it,
know.
you can't get away with it. It sucks so
I,
much.
and it's like it's a bummer. I was talking to my friend who was working over yeah, I guess it was at Disney, and they were trying to like figure out Home Alone, but not like the Home Alone that they just did. Like they're let's do like a Home Alone in a toy store, and they were talking about these notes they were getting, and the thing was, well, whoever's breaking in, I guess it did just translate to Home Alone. They can't be bad guys. And it's like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, well, yeah, they're not like robbers. We can't have like robbers because then the kids are in danger. So we don't want to put the kids in danger. So we need to have it like be like a janitor who forgot his keys, so he's coming in through the roof. And it's like, well, then like Home Alone, my kids love Home Alone, like love Home Alone, but like Home Alone doesn't work. And I would argue, and I love everybody in that movie that did that Home Alone one. Very funny, talented people. It doesn't work because it's like there's no real. It's like, oh, the couple from down the block is trying to get
I
into.
felt so bad for them.
I know
these people don't deserve this. They're being tortured.
And it's like that kid is almost. It makes the kid more of a fucking sociopath, like because he's like hurting these people. And I guess it's like, oh well, he thinks they're villains, but it's like, but it's hard because you can't enjoy them getting hurt because there's no reason for them getting hurt. But then you're also buying like, oh, we get to hurt them. It's a weird thing. It's like, yeah, if you don't have good guys and bad guys and everyone's kind of good, it's like, I don't know how to feel.
Weird. You'd think like someone would get to one of these studio heads and be like, you know, this whole thing's based on capitalism. Kids love to pay you money to see things that they know is a little edgier, a little more adult, or a little older. Like you loved watching Goonies when they're talking about like breaking off the David's penis because you're like, oh, I don't know if my mom wants me.
Yeah, that felt so adult.
Yeah, totally. And you're like, that's gonna make you more money. Put it in there. Like you don't care about. You studio head really don't care about if you're warping the minds of children. You want the easiest way. Put this edgy stuff in so kids will be excited and talk about it.
It was so funny because I've told the story a million times. When we did Human Giant, which is a sketch show that I did on MTV, we had these characters like the Illusionators, and they're very much like Chris Angel magicians. And
talking about like I'm not the biggest fan of the show. So,
well, you're lovely to say. I never know. I wish we could get that somewhere out. It's not streaming anywhere, but so I have to keep on telling it by oral tradition. But there was this moment in the pilot where we're like these magicians, and we go to a funeral, and there's like a little boy crying. And we go, don't worry, we'll bring your grandfather back. And we like zap his coffin. And the guy gets up, the grandfather, and the kid's like, oh my God, grandpa. And then we walk off into like the distance. It's like Illusionators. And the note we got back from MTV, we were sitting down after the focus group, and they're like, you know, people really like the show. I think one of the big pieces of feedback that we got was the magic wasn't really working for people. People felt like it wasn't real enough. And we're like, they're like, so we maybe cut out the magic sections of the show. And we're like, okay, first of all, it's a joke. It's a parody of magic. It's not real magic. Like, well, it's just like they don't respond to the magic. They're not being surprised by the magic. It's like, no, it's not magic.
Were they under the impression like this is a half comedy, half magic variety show that they purchased?
So crazy. I remember, and then another, and this is the people like it's sometimes if you don't have somebody in your corner, you have to fall victim to these notes, and that's why like things suck. It's not always the person. It's like sometimes it just somebody gets in there. Like I remember one guy going like, "Here's the thing, we don't like your sketch Hot Air Balloon Cops because I just don't know where the reality is. Like, why are they doing high speed chases in a hot air balloon?" And he said it like, "See, that's why I'm fucking smart." And it's like, no, dude, that's again, it's a joke. Like, sketch comedy is all like absurd premises of yes, it doesn't work. That's why we wrote it. We didn't write it because it's trying to write a sketch about police chases. But then you have to.
There's like they have like almost like a gun, like preloaded of things to kill creativity that are like, I love your main character, but what is he good at? I need to know that he's good at something.
Yeah,
or you know, like you hear them repeatedly, you're like, oh, they're sharing this ammo to murder creativity. Like they must get together some nights and be like, you know, what's a note that really impressed my boss was talking about how I didn't understand the reality of like it's so crazy how you hear them repeated, kind of.
Oh yeah, we really need to see them be what are they good at their job? Can we see them being good at their job? Like it's like, oh God, it's like, yeah, it really does. It's funny because it's like all the things that you think about, you're never like, what did the McAllisters do? It was never named. Like we never named why their parents. Well, like, are they terrible parents because they left the kid home alone? Like, no, we don't care. They left the kid home alone. Like, we've bought into the premise. We don't need to like justify it 10 more times or make it like, you know. But it's like that. Like I think justification has killed everything, but not minor threats. It's so fun, and I have to say the art really blew me away too. I thought the art was gorgeous.
Scott Hepburn, unbelievable. He's a co-creator with us, and you know, really built up the world too in an interesting way, because we talked about it, like, let's not just make this Gotham, let's make this a city that's like
Yes.
endured 60 years of comic book continuity, and it's like the bad side of town, so they just leave the dead kaiju over there and people just
I
build
love that.
low income housing around it, or there's like, oh, there's a time warp over on that block. We should avoid that while we're running from the police. Like, we really wanted to make this, everyone says like the city a character, but as the book progresses, you'll see it's kind of like the Warriors, where they're trying to survive the night, but also survive the city, because the city has all this weird stuff. Like, oh yeah, there's some kind of space god living in that subway, so let's not take that. We wanted to embrace all the craziness of comics.
I
That was really
love that.
Scott.
And are you do you have like a number in mind, or is it just going to run for, like, are you like, oh, we have like it's a 10 issue thing or anything like that, or do you know how big is it
Yeah,
going to be?
it's a 4-issue mini series, but we have a lot more stories to tell. So hopefully, if people buy it and like it, we get to tell them. But yeah, it's kind of like 4 oversized issues, and we've got some amazing cover artists. Like, we got Mike Mignola to do one for the first
So
issue,
great.
which
It looks great. It looks amazing. We'll pop it up one more time there. The cover of the thing. You can get this at your little comic book shops. You can get it digitally. Yeah, check it out. It's really funny. If you love comics, it's even better. It's just it's a pleasure. I'm glad you came on. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for making time.
thank you
to
for
do this.
having me. This was great.
And I can't wait to tell. I mean, the dumb bit of the show is that we're always doing a Who's the Boss recap. We're not really this. To tell you the truth, we're not really doing it, but we do talk about Who's the Boss every week. And now that we know this glory hole story, we have to find that script.
Yeah,
so
maybe Rob can crack it. Who's on the other?
Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Jordan. See you later. That's it for this week's episode of Thursdays with Rob and Paul. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things that you do on YouTube, and we'll see you next week, either live on YouTube or on Twitch, or wherever you want to watch us. Plus, just watch the replay right here. I'm Paul Scheer. This is my channel. See you soon.